Today's deck list was in the 5-0 deck dumps, and I knew instantly that I had to play it. We're playing Mono Blue Mill featuring Tasha's Hideous Laughter from Dungeons & Dragons Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Let's go check it out. This is it. This is what we're playing today. Mono Blue Legacy Mill, no black, no Glimpse the Unthinkable. Instead, we're just doing this, the old-fashioned way, islands and getting the job done. Just like the modern deck, we have 4 copies of Ruin Crab along with Hedron Crab to pair with our fetch lands. But one nice thing about Legacy is we get Mystic Sanctuary. This card is not banned here. Speaking of cards that are banned in modern, we have Ponder alongside Brainstorm with these fetch lands to add added consistency. And then we even have Days to pick up our islands with our crabs to mill even more cards. We have Force of Will in this format to protect our copy of Tasha's Hideous Laughter, which should mill most of people's libraries. We have Archive Trap in a format with tons of fetch lands. Fractured Sanity is another huge upgrade from Modern Horizons 2. And then Maddening Cacophony from Zendikar. I actually played in that Pro Tour and I can't even remember the set name. What's wrong with me? But yeah, this is the deck list. That's what we're playing today. I picked this up from a 5-0 deck dump, and I'm just pretty excited to play it. Why don't we just hop on into match number 1, and you've had enough of me rambling. I'll see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicswarm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicswarm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match 1, Game 1, Mono Blue Mill. Let's go. We have Ponder to help find land number 2, and as my good friend Bryant Cook, aka Bosch and Roll, would say, you keep hands with Island Ponder, especially when they have Force of Will plus Days backup. Polluted Delta, okay. What's going on here? For a swamp. Thoughtseize. I'm going to cast this Archive Trap. We'll target them. Yeah, that's right. I'm playing Mill. Ah, well, they're playing Reanimates in their deck. That's not ideal. Am I supposed to Force of Will this? I think it's probably worth it to ensure that I hit my land drops off this Ponder. Our opponent's probably thinking, like, what is happening right now? Okay, we both... I guess they're up a card. Because I spent a card milling them for 13. But they're 33% of the way through their deck now. That's a plus. Ooh, Hedron Crab. Good draw. Okay, so let's go search out that island and play the crab. We even get to protect it with Days here. This deck list is ultra spicy. Pretty excited about this. Underground Sea. Another Thoughtseize. I'm going to allow that to happen. They take the Ponder. Okay. Love to draw a land here. Draw for turn. There we go. We will save targets at them. So I think I'm supposed to cycle the Fractured Sanity now, because if I don't, they could Orcish Bowmasters and then kill my crab. We draw another Hedron Crab, okay. Let's send a message. Get in there for 0. Fatal Push on the crab. That's going to happen. Mystic Sanctuary. We'll play the crab. And then I think I'm actually going to play the Sanctuary, because I could always pick it up later with the Days. We milled a Reanimate. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. They know that our last card in hand is Days. We've milled 50% of their library at this point. If we could draw Tasha's Hideous Laughter, that might just be the game. Okay, so they're casting Reanimate on Tombstalker, a 5/5 Delve. Come on, Tasha's. Ponder, okay. We'll play the Ponder. Ooh, double Ruin Crab is not very impressive in this spot. We're going to shuffle. Okay. We'll pass the turn. Our opponent attacks for 5. We'll go to 13. We cannot block. Tombstalker does in fact have flying. They do not cast any spells. Fractured Sanity. I like a good mill 14. Let's cast it. They have 12 cards left in their deck, so if we could draw a fetch land, that would be lethal. They do have Troll of Khazad-dûm in their deck. I was wondering because we haven't seen one yet, but it would make a lot of sense. They cast Grief, Exile, and Grief. Well, I will Daze. picking up an island. They're attacking for 5 again, so I'm going to fall to 8 life. Another Tombstalker! Okay, so it's really all up to this draw step here. A fetch land wins the game. Tasha's Hideous Laughter wins the game. Another Fractured Sanity. Maddening Cacophony would win the game. Come on, Duck. No! Oh, we were 1 turn too short. Unfortunate. Okay, we have to pass. They had just enough library left to eke it out. Okay, so we lose game number 1. Unfortunate. Against the deck with Reanimate, I like bringing in the other Surgicals. They can also help clear the way for Tasha's Hideous Laughter by removing expensive cards out of their deck. I wonder, and I could be wrong here, if we're supposed to board out Crabs versus decks with like Fatal Push in them and just like make it so they have more dead draws. And that way all their creature removal is dead. And then we could bring in like the Echoing Truth and a couple copies of Brazen Borrower. This might just be too crazy. Yeah, I don't know if I like this. Let's bring the Crabs back. I feel like this might be nuts. I don't know if I love Forcible in this matchup. Like, they have Grief and Thoughtseize and stuff, but like, there's nothing that I have to counter in order to win the game. What if I just like bring in a couple bounce spells? I'm going to try this, I think. Alright, game number 2, we're on the play. Sure, keep. Where are all these fetch lands last game? Really? We'll lead on Misty Rainforest, grab a basic, and play the Hedron Crab. So we still don't know what their blue is for. It's probably for sideboard cards, like Flusterstorm maybe? Dark Ritual. And now they're casting Grief. Sure. Goodbye, Archive Trap. They Fatal Push my Crab. They cycle a Troll. Is there one of their last 2 cards Reanimate? That's not fair. Okay, so no Reanimate. What a nuts opener if they had a Reanimate as one of their final 2 cards. They didn't, but I'm just saying that would have been insane. Hey, another Crab. Target them. Auto yield. They already have enough like large creatures in their graveyard, so I'm going to fetch now during my main phase to avoid removal. They play the basic Swamp. Ponder. Let's cast that. I guess I'll keep Brainstorm. It can't hurt. We'll play the Scalding Tarn. Brazen Borrower. Okay, that's an interesting blue card. Maybe it's for their like Dark Depths matchup. And they're going to Petty Theft now. Sure. That's fine. Grab another basic. Replay the Crab. And then we'll pass the turn. Wasteland with no targets. I do enjoy that. Dothy Voidwalker. Sure. So they have 1 card left in their hand. They have 40 cards left in deck. Ruin Crab. That was a decent draw for the home team. So now we can mill some cards. We'll fetch. And now we can go grab the Mystic Sanctuary, which is a land our opponent can destroy, but we still get to use the effect. We'll put Ponder on top. And now they'll mill some more. They have 28 cards left. Fractured Sanity is going to mill half of those. So they now have 14 cards left. Our opponent has decided to get in there. In the red zone, we go to 13 life. Reanimate on Tombstalker. The clock is back. They have 8 power on the table. They're not using their Wasteland. I'll cast the Ponder. This might mean Orcish Bowmasters. So the Cacophony would mill 8. Which isn't bad, but then we have 2 dead draws that don't trigger our Crabs. I think I'm supposed to shuffle this. Shuffle. There we go. And now we'll fetch. Grab another Mystic Sanctuary. Put Archive Trap on top, I guess? I don't know. And the opponent concedes. Going to game number 3. I think I'm just going to stay the course. 2 bounce spells is probably enough. I like Surgical for hitting their Reanimate creatures and whatnot. Like, I think that this is a good plan. Love it. This hand is so good. I kind of wish that we had a Surgical Extraction over this Brainstorm, but it's hard to argue with how powerful this hand is. They kept their first 7. Then there was like an awkward pause. Okay. Turn 1 Wasteland. So that means that they have a Troll. Are you thinking about casting Grief here? They are. Okay. So they exiled a Dothy Voidwalker. And now they're going to discard. Interesting choice on what the right card is here. They take the Tasha's. Hideous Laughter. Alright, so like I said, the Wasteland likely means Troll of Khazad-dûm. We're just going to play the island and pass. We can play the crab on turn 2 with double days back up. So they had the swamp. No trolls, so I guess I'm just wrong. And they chose to lead on Wasteland. Thoughtseize. I'm going to cast Brainstorm in response. Okay. So we're going to fetch away a card here. So I think we want to put back the other Brainstorm and let's hide Fractured Sanity on top. They take a crab. In reality, I mean, maybe I should just label this video like Mono Blue Crabs in Legacy. Crab Tribal. Play the Hedron Crab. Alright. We will save targets. Mill 3. And I'm going to pass the turn for now. I don't want to mill them going into their turn. Well, they did have the troll. Okay, I feel like they forgot to cycle it on their turn. But like, I don't want to fill up their graveyard for Tombstalker. So that is why I'm holding the Polluted Delta. They Fatal Push. We'll fetch in response. Might as well get another 3 cards here. Okay. So they don't do anything after that. They have 2 cards now. I'll play the Polluted Delta. And I think I'm going to end up just passing. And I don't think I'm actually going to cast this Fractured Sanity. Instead, I'm going to cycle. Surgical on my crabs. That is fine. No hard feelings there. Are you feeling a little crabby, opponent? So it looks like they're just passing the turn again. We will cycle this Fractured Sanity. We mill a couple copies of Dothy Voidwalker, a Wasteland, and a Fatal Push. Mystic Sanctuary. We can grab Tasha's or the Fractured Sanity. I think I want Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Alright, and then we can pass the turn. Thoughtseize. I'm going to cast this Surgical on Troll of Khazad-dûm. So they have Reanimate in hand. They have 3 Tombstalkers left in their deck. Okay. They take a Daze. Let's float a blue and cast Daze on this Reanimate. Because now I can get back the Tasha's. So Reanimate resolves. And then I can flash in the Brazen Borrower. Actually, should I Petty Theft here? Yeah, I probably should. Let's Petty Theft. Slow down their clock a little bit. And now the Grief does nothing. They have 35 cards left in their deck, 2 cards in hand, one of which is Grief, the other is a Fatal Push. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. Milled 10 cards, that's not too bad. 1 Tombstalker, so they have 2 Tombstalkers left. Play the Sanctuary. 2 out of 25. I feel like Fractured Sanity is actually better on rate here. Yes. And then we'll pass the turn. They drew a land, so now they can hardcast the Grief. That was a good draw for them. There it is. We have no hand. We will now cast the Fractured Sanity. This mills over half of their deck. They'll have 9 cards left. We milled another Tombstalker. So this means if we can draw a Tasha's, that should win the game. Maddening Cacophony would also win the game now. Another Fractured Sanity. Tombstalker. What a draw. Wow. They drew the final Tombstalker. That actually might be good enough to beat me here. They have the Fatal Push, so they can Wasteland their own land, and then Fatal Push my Brazen Borrower. Uh-oh. Never mind, I had it the whole time. I don't know why you didn't believe in me. We just had it. I mean, what can I say? And that's match number 1. We have beat Mono Black Scam with Mono Blue Mill. The Legacy metagame, folks. I hope you're ready for Eternal Weekend. Alright, enough joking around. Let's go to match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Can't stop, won't stop, all bangers. This deck is so good. Like, every hand I've opened so far, I just feel like is insane. Basic island, okay. I'll see your basic island and raise you a basic island. And a crab. We've got crabs. Pass. Nice wasteland. Does it come in playable? Merfolk. Let's daze that. And they're going to force of will my daze. Sure. Yeah, you got it. Okay. So they probably don't play fetch lands, which makes this archive trap less desirable. We'll grab a basic, and then auto yield. Play a ponder. I like these. Which one am I supposed to draw here? I feel like daze isn't that great in our current spot. So maybe we'll take the force of will, and then we can pass. Another wasteland, so they can't cast any double blue merfolk here. Hexcatcher. I will attempt a force of will. That card could end up being a problem for us. Aether Vial, I don't care. We knew about the Hexcatcher, that's what they revealed to the Silvergill Adept. So I think I'm going to fetch again. And then we'll fetch. This brings them down to 38 cards. Let's cast Maddening Cacophony. Okay, half their deck is gone at this point. Aether Vial goes up to 1, they play a Cavern of Souls, and they name Merfolk. Ooh, Hexcatcher. Okay, so that's going to counter my Fractured Sanity, so we would be better off cycling it at this point. I am not allowed to block. Wait, does it have an island? It does not have Island Walk. I am allowed to block. Okay, so we'll take it though. We go to 14. Surgical Extraction. Let's start on Ponder. I think I'm going to keep the Misty Rainforest. And then we'll play the basic. They can mill 3. I guess I should be looking for a card that has like 3 copies left in their deck, like a Tide Shaper. Or Lord of Atlantis. That would actually be a pretty good one. Let's target Lord of Atlantis. I will go to 12 life. Master of the Pearl Trident. The other Lord of Atlantis. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to be dead pretty quickly here. I have 22 cards. So I can't block and I take 6. So yeah, I'm just dead. We'll cycle the Fractured Sanity. I'm going to draw the Ponder. And then we're drawing a land for our turn, I believe. So I can fetch the other Sanctuary, which would... I just don't see how we possibly win this. If I pondered into another Ruin Crab, that's also only 12. Like, the problem is I can't beat the Hexcatcher. Like, I would have lethal if they didn't have the Hexcatcher on the battlefield. So this is going to mill them down to 12. Yeah, I just don't see a line that we get to win this. Maybe I messed up by cycling the Fractured Sanity on the end step. And now we ponder. We will float a blue. Nice Wasteland. I mean, Wasteland doesn't matter here. So I know that I'm dead to the Hexcatcher, but I don't believe I have a shuffle that wins the game. So we'll just take the Fractured Sanity and then cast it. I can't pay and then I'm dead on board? No, because I can now block the Master, unless they draw another Merfolk. Maybe I should have paid attention to what I put on top with Ponder, because I don't know what the top card is. I feel like it was like another land or another Ponder. I can block the Master and then go to 3 life. I guess I'm still just dead to the Hexcatcher. Okay. But I also want to see if it will let me what my top card was. I feel like it was another Ponder. It was a Daze. Okay. Rough. I don't think Surgical is very good here. I'm also not in love with Archive Trap against the deck that doesn't play fetch lands. So let's bring in Echoing Truth, the Brazen Borrowers. And I kind of want to try the Murktide Region Beatdown plan. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to board out. Maybe the Echoing Truth? Let's try this. I feel like it's pretty unfair when I'm, playing the Mono Blue Mill deck to get paired into me and not play fetch lands. I feel like it's just kind of disrespectful. I mean, I'm just over here trying to play a silly meme deck. And, I don't know, like, you should play along, right? For the content. This hand is great, we'll keep. I'm just talking nonsense, feel free to ignore me. Blue to Delta, we'll play it, activate, go to 19 life. Play our little crab friend. They're going to force. Well, I will daze. Grab happens, pass the turn. Aether Vial. I could counter this. I'm not going to. Maddening Cacophony. I'm going to target them. I could target myself to try to turbo out the Murktide. I don't even know if I like that. I'm just going to target them. We will pass the turn. Aether Vial goes up to 1. They have a Wasteland. Silvergill revealing Lord of Atlantis. I will float a blue, and let's daze. I'll cast the Brainstorm. Alright, well, we have land drops covered. Player basic island, and we'll pass. So they have 3 cards in hand, one of which is Lord of Atlantis. Aether Vial goes up to 2 counters. They play an Otawara. Chalice of the Void on 1. Yeah, I'm not going to counter that. You've got it. Play the basic island. They'll mill 3 more. Let's play the Maddening Cacophony. Pass. So we know that they have the Lord of Atlantis in hand and then 1 other card. So now they have 2 cards in hand. I'm not going to block. Ponder is just Force of Will bait with this Chalice in play. We'll play Mystic Sanctuary. And then let's play the Murktide Regent. Okay. I am the beatdown. They destroy my land in response. And then with their last 2 cards in hand, they cast Force of Will, exiling Hurkyl's Recall. I will Force of Will back. I have a dragon. It's a big dragon. They have moved their vial up to 3 counters. And then they cast a Hexcatcher, which is a little bit annoying because I was going to bounce something with the Brazen Borrower. Should I try to race them here? I mean, this creature's a 3-turn clock. We will attack with the Murktide. They're at 11. So they have 1 card. Inside of combat, I'm going to Petty Theft the Lord of Atlantis. And now I'm allowed to block the excuse me. Vidalian Hexcatcher. I keep on wanting to say Vidalcan, like Vidalcan Shackles, but that's just not what it is. They replay the Lord of Atlantis. Player Island, we will mill them. Attack for 7. They're at 4 life. The Hexcatcher says non-creature. I'm going to display the Brazen Borrower now. Alright, so they found their 3rd land. They have 1 card left. I'm not blocking. Like, I don't know what they could have here that would deal lethal, so... Phantasmal Image copies the Murktide Regent as a blocker. Okay. So they'll mill 3. And I can put them to 1 here. And then we'll play the Maddening Cacophony. Okay, this is your final draw step. And they concede. We are going to game number 3 versus Merfolk. I believe I just want to resubmit. Game number 3. This hand might not be good enough, but I'm going to keep it. Turn 1, Cavern of Souls. Aether Vial, okay. Not a big fan of that opening. That's a little too good for my liking, but I'll take another crab. Alright, we're feeling a little crabby. They play Otawara. Silvergill Adept revealing Lord of Atlantis. Jeez. Daze. Let's play a crab. And then I'm going to play Mystic Sanctuary, because this allows me to play a 3-drop next turn. Alright, mill 6. And we'll pass the turn. They have land number 3. They play the Lord of Atlantis. And then they activate the Vial. Another Lord of Atlantis, wow. Aggressive start. So I'm going to take 4 here, going to 16. We draw another land, so they'll mill 6 here. We hit another Force of Will. I think I'm going to try Tasha's Hideous Laughter. They have Flusterstorm. Unfortunate. Very good opening for our opponent. I cannot pay for Flusterstorm even with my days. So they're attacking for 10. So I'd have to completely deck them on my next turn. I just don't think this is possible. I needed that Tasha's to resolve. I'm not able to block, so I am taking 10. I am taking more than 10, and this Hexcatcher is uncounterable. Yeah, and I definitely can't beat the Hexcatcher. That's not possible here. Murktide, you are not good enough. Alright, well, we got absolutely destroyed in match number 2. We are now 1-1 with Mono Blue Mill. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the play and we're facing Lightwalker, who almost exclusively plays Painter Servant combo. Alright, so I'm going to keep this, but Mill is pretty risky against Painter because they could just use Goblin Welder to put the artifact onto the battlefield. So I'm a little bit nervous about this. We will fetch and then cast Ponder. Do I really... I guess it does guarantee me a Mystic Sanctuary. Okay. We will pass. Ancient Tomb, Painter Servant. They chose white. Okay. I don't know what that means, but you got me. We will fetch. Grab a basic. Maddening Cacophony. Mill 8. They play a mountain. Grindstone. What? That's illegal. Come on. Just opening up both halves of your combo. And a Goblin Engineer. If my hand was only for Archive Traps right now, we might stand a chance. We will cast the Archive Trap. I guess if somehow I drew Tasha's Hideous Laughter and their deck didn't have enough mana value, that might be able to do it. Okay. Draw. Daze. We are dead on board. We will fetch. Grab the basic. Fractured Sanity. So we milled about 3/4 of their deck. It just wasn't enough. Painter's the better mill deck. I guess so. Yep. You got me. I will concede. Okay, so we're going to the post-board games now. Am I even supposed to sideboard? I kind of don't think we are. Like, Surgical's okay for hitting, you know, the Welder or whatever, but I feel like our deck is kind of just set up for this matchup. Like, you could also board in Brazen Borrower to activate in response, or to cast in response to the activation, but I don't know if that's actually good. We need to find another land, but I'll keep this. They have kept 6 cards. We'll search for a basic island and cast the Hedron Crab. Plateau and Swords to Plowshares on my crab. That's just rude. We will ponder. No land 2. I will shuffle this Ponder. Ay, ay, ay. Goblin Welder. Urza's Saga. That's technically a land. Pass. They play an Arid Mesa. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Yeah, we're not going to counter a Fable. Goblin Welder gets in there. We go to 18. Land. Not a land. Cast the Maddening Cacophony. Or maybe I was supposed to cycle the Fractured Sanity. Yeah, I probably was supposed to cycle looking for the land. That's my mistake. I was just so frustrated by not drawing a land I didn't think. They discard a Swords to Plowshares and another Fable. They now have a Grindstone. And another Urza's Saga. Lotus Petal. Painter. I'm going to attempt to force the will this Painter. We take 2. And if they attempt to use the Goblin Welder, I can Surgical the Painter Servant. Daze. So I guess now we'll cycle the Fractured Sanity. No such luck. They don't use the Goblin Welder, so they just don't want to go for the win. Interesting. So we're going to take 2 here, going to 13. They play a fetch. Another Painter Servant. They had it the whole time. There's nothing I could have done there, because they were holding open the Welder. Yeah, you have it. And now they activate the Grindstone, and we have been out-milled. We are now 1-2 in this Legacy League. I'll see you in the 4th match. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. We're back at it in match number 4. On the draw, I'm going to choose to keep this. Rashad and Port. Okay. Play basic island, pass the turn. Rashad Port a little bit scary when I kept a one lander without a second land. And they're on 60 card death and taxes. We will daze that Thalia. And then for good measure, let's just remove her straight from the game. You don't get to have that. Ooh, we ripped one out of their hand too. Love it. Love it. Okay. Let's cast Brainstorm. Ooh, Crab is good here. Put their 2 lands on top. Play the Crab. So they drew a land. They play Stoneforge. Unfortunately, I don't have an Archive Trap here. They grab a Cauldron Complete. I'm going to Ponder. I don't think we want any of these. We'll shuffle. Another Daze. I don't even know if they're going to cast any more spells, really. We have to pass. They drew another land. They activate the Stoneforge. Another land was actually kind of annoying here because I'm not going to get an open turn. No blocks. So they're going to use the Rashad Port in our upkeep. We're going to cycle this Fractured Sanity, hoping to draw into land number 3. Okay, we did hit the land. Love that for us. Ooh, land number 4 too. Okay, fetch again. And we'll pass. They attack, we'll block with the Stoneforge Mystic, or we'll block the Stoneforge Mystic with our Hedron Crab. We'll take 5 going to 7. Oh, come on. That's not fair. We'll float a blue, and then Brainstorm. Load another blue. Brainstorm. Well, those are some lands. I think we have to fetch one away, because I can't fetch twice this game. We're going to take damage off the Germ Token next turn, so it just doesn't work the way we want. I think I'm just going to grab an island. And we'll Brainstorm now looking for another Crab. We missed. I'm going to put back 2 Tashas, because I can only cast 1 next turn anyway. Alright, I have to block the Stoneforge. I'm at 1 life. Mother of Ruins does not matter. Okay. You got it. So we have to mill 25 cards with this Tasha's. We're asking for a lot here. So first we start out by milling them for 3. Alright, Tasha's Hideous Laughter. It milled 20. Bummer. So close. And we are dead to the Germ Token / Cauldron Complete. Alright, so we got destroyed here. I do not want Surgical Extraction. I think I do want Bounce Spells. Maybe cut the 4th Archive Trap. Like, they don't actually have very many ways to search their deck. Game number 2. On the play. I feel like I'm always saying, like, if I just draw a second land. I don't think I'm supposed to keep this. Well, mulligan. I think we keep this and bottom the 2nd copy of Force of Will. Alright, use the Polluted Delta to go grab an island. Play our Crab. Pass the turn. Basic Plains into Swords. Alright, let's roll high. Force. I'm all in on Crab. Fractured Sanity. Save targets. We'll fetch 5 lands. 6 lands. Holy moly. Pass the turn. I'm probably going to cycle this Fractured Sanity when we're so low on cards. Another Swords. That's not very nice. And a Mother of Ruins. Cycle the Fractured Sanity. Mills a 3rd Swords to Plowshares and their Cauldron. They have 41 cards left. We will fetch, grab an island, and Tasha's Hideous Laughter. They milled 9 cards. Or I'm sorry, 10 cards. That was not very good. Alright, half their deck is gone now. Recruiter of the Guard. Unfortunately, my last card is not Archive Trap. They grab a Solitude. Alright, Tasha's Hideous Laughter off the top. Let's go. Maddening Cacophony will cast Ponder. I don't think I'm supposed to keep these. Like, even a fetch land would be better for the Tasha's here. Force of Will was a terrible draw. We will mill them. Okay, they have 21 cards left. 20 after their draw step. Thalia. So now I can't even cast the Tasha's if I draw it. Brainstorm. Let's see if we can convert this Force of Will into something useful. We can. Put the pair of forces back, and now we can fetch for a Mystic Sanctuary. Put the Tasha's Hideous Laughter back on top of the deck. Pass the turn. not Wasteland. And now we're going to take 4 down to 8 life. Sarah Avenger, Lion Sash. So that's actually lethal. Wow. I don't like that. Alright, Tasha, I choose you. Please? 19 cards? Oh, they have 2 cards left. So close. That's not going to do it, though. That is just lethal on board. Put the Tasha's back on top. So close. Sarah Avenger, just way too strong. In reality, Lion Sash could have been 5 damage here, but... oh, that's a bummer. Our opponent's going to activate the Lion Sash each time for the extra Robins. I feel it. I mean, if, I was in their spot, I would do it too. Alright, so we are now 1-3 in this Legacy League. A lot of decks without fetch lands. Not that I've drawn a whole lot of archive traps anyway, but even if I don't win this next one, I gotta win. You can't take that away from me. I am still very proud of that. Let's see if we can win match number 5 and get half my play points back. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? We've made it simple to do so by including a button to rent the entire deck at theepicstorm.com/decklist. The 5th and final match, we're on the draw and, well, I'm gonna keep. I feel like being on the draw with double crab plus brainstorm is a little bit better. We can also protect our crab with force of will. I'm into it. Basic planes. Mother of Runes. We get a chance at redemption versus death and taxes. 60 card D&T is apparently back. No one tell Phil Gallagher. He might get too excited. Play Ruin Crab. Pass the turn. Swords to Plowshares. I would like to keep my crab, so I'm going to force this. We draw, and it's a daze. I'll cast Brainstorm. I had a feeling that would happen. That's disappointing. Pass the turn. What a bummer. Stoneforge Mystic will daze that. This is the part where they don't play land number 3 out of shame, and then next turn they hit their land drop. Alright, mill them for 3. And let's cast Ponder looking for that land. Technically it's here. Okay. We will keep the land. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Play the crab. Mill them for 6. Pass the turn. Land number 3. Lion Sash. Okay. No attack. They could have given the Thalia protection from blue and attacked. So this is the last card we knew off Ponder. I can brainstorm here looking for a fetch land. And we found one. Let's put back the 2 copies of Maddening Cacophony for now. And I will hold the fetch land for a turn. We can mill them for 6. And then we'll play Ruin Crab number 3. Just feeling a little crabby, you know? I'm not always in the best mood when I record. Pass the turn. They make their Lion Sash just a little bit bigger. Baracus. The lion is growing. Again and again and again. This is currently a 5/5, about to be a 6/6 lion. No, they keep one back for some reason. Okay, I'll take 5 to 14. So we can now mill them for at least 18. Fetch. I don't even know if I really want any of the cards in my graveyard, but let's grab a Mystic Sanctuary anyway. And we can put Ponder on top. So they'll have 16 cards left. I can mill 14. Okay, let's do it. Fractured Sanity. They have 2 cards left in their deck. Pass the turn. They have 1 card left. They give the Lion Sash protection from blue. And then they're going to level it up. It is a 10/10, but I am at 13. I'm not allowed to block. So the 2 damage that they missed on the Thalia this game was kind of a difference maker. Because if they had an untapped land there, that would have been lethal. I will cast Maddening Cacophony. Pass the turn. Hey, we've taken game number 1. 1 game away from 50 play points. I love it. Bring in the Echoing Truth, the Brazen Borrowers. Get rid of the Surgicals. And I still kind of like boarding out 1 Force of Will. Well, I guess I boarded out an Archive Trap last time. Yeah, I mean, their deck doesn't shuffle that much. I think that's okay. They have Stoneforges and Recruiter of the Guards, and that's it. Although maybe on the play I just want to be aggressive. Yeah, let's try this time. Drawing multiple forces is very bad. This is a good hand. We will keep. Our opponent has also kept 7. Turn 1, Mother of Ruins. Ponder. I think I'm going to lead on the Ponder instead of the Crab. We'll keep both of these. No, and then pass the turn. Surgical's my Ponder. That is fine. We play a Wasteland. And it looks like they're going to attack and pass, so we'll go to 18 life here. Another Crab. Love it. Alright, Hedron Crab will play the Misty. Target them. They have 4 cards left in their hand. I'm going to Force of Will this Swords. Getting rid of the Archive Trap. That's why I kept the Archive Trap, was just for a blue card. We milled over their Batter Skull. Big fan of that. Lion Sash down 2. Player Ruin Crab. Crabs, crabs, crabs. They play land number 3, 3 cards in hand. Spirit of the Labyrinth, sure. I'm not trying to draw cards anymore. Another Ruin Crab. Okay, we can hold a turn on the Tashas. This is going to mill them for 18. Okay, so that's 39, and then with this fetch, they'll be at 30, or I'm sorry, they'll be at exactly 30. Love it. We milled their Cauldron. Feel like we're in a decent spot here. If they cast any spell, I can play Daze and mill 9. We will Daze. They can pay for it, but I'll still be able to mill 6. Sure, crab down. We'll take 3, going to 12 life. The real reason that Yorion Taxes is better is an extra 20 cards in their deck. Right? Right? I don't know, I'm just making bad jokes, ignore me. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. 23 cards left in deck, and 5 cards left in deck. They have land number 5. They give their Skyclave Apparition protection from blue. I'm not blocking. We'll take 5. I go to 7. Stoneforge Mystic with 4 cards left in their deck. I mean, they had a Jit, a Cauldron, a Lion Sash, and a Batter Skull. If they had a 5th piece of equipment, it would honestly be kind of impressive. Alright, we'll just cast the Fractured Sanity. I could have cycled it, but I wouldn't draw a card due to the Spirit of the Labyrinth, and that just didn't feel good to me. Pass the turn. Hey, so we got 50 play points back. You know, I'm happy with that. So, is this the most competitive deck in the world? Probably not. Is it a lot of fun? Definitely. And if you're looking to have a great time playing a Legacy League, this seems pretty reasonable. I don't know if I have any strong opinions on changes. I think that maybe we don't need the Leyline of the Voids, but I'm not even sure what I would play there instead. So if you have any thoughts, let me know in the comment section down below. I would greatly appreciate that. But have a great day, keep storming, all that good stuff. See ya. Hey you, yeah you, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, and if you're interested, you can visit theepicstorm.com/donation-decks to see your combo deck here on this very YouTube channel. You can even join me in a video in the Epic tier, it's totally worth it, I promise, and see ya, thanks for watching.